Before I get into this battle, like just before, it wasn't so much that Canada and America went over to London to battle. It was the URL. Tana Katan, who's out there in London, you know, she said, hey, everybody in the URL is like superstars to them. You know, all the battle rappers is like superstar characters to them. That London crowd, even for the warm-up battle, which those guys, you know, Gemini and whatever the guy name was, they was kind of hyped. They was alive. You didn't have to warm them up. You didn't have to wake up. There was no wake up with this crowd, or you missed it, or you didn't get it. This crowd was amped. The gas was pumping, literally pumping in the building. Like, there was some Exxon executives in the fucking crowd, my nigga. BP spilling oil up in that bitch. There was a lot of like, they was lighting a lighter in the crowd while people was battling. That shit could have fucking blew up the building. That shit, there was fucking fumes up in there. Smoke. Real smoke, nigga. Real smoke was in the building. All right. Let's get into this shit. This battle between Pat Stay and Tay Roc, before I even get into who started and who won the rounds and all that shit, this battle was built off of a lot of tension. And I almost forgot that Pat Stay might have really wanted to battle this dude. And shout out to Calico, because Calico kind of bullied and pushed both of them around on stage. He did Pat Stay, I think, worse. But Tay Roc, he kind of pushed and all that stuff. And Tay Roc had that famous, I'm not Pat Stay. I'm not Pat. Well, in this battle, they really had some different perspectives on how they saw the bullying. You know, Pat Stay had the, you almost might would have fight somebody all the time. And, you know, Tay Roc was like, you're a pussy, you're not going to do nothing kind of thing. And that how he's not Pat Stay. Kept saying, I'm not Pat Stay, I'm not Pat Stay. All right, so the first round, they was getting ready to flip. First round, Tay Roc takes the crowd over and he just says, yo, hey, yo, because they didn't flip it. And he just had to say that. My goodness. Yo, I'm surprised the people didn't drown from the gasoline that was poured all over that crowd. Yo, I'm talking about a tsunami of gas. The nigga just said, hey, yo. And he had to wait for them to calm down. This crowd was super duper ready and gassed to go. And Tay Roc just was, I think it was like penetrating his body, his skin. It was like he was getting hyped and he was getting better as a battle rapper, but he was getting hyped and getting better as a battle rapper, but it was almost taking the energy out of him too, because he was over too hyped. But his first round was good. He had a crack angle. You know, Tay Roc is known for, you know, gun bars and all that shit, but he had a crack angle on Pat Stay. And we all know Pat Stay has been rumored to have drug problems and all that stuff. So, you did a round curtailed to him. You know, he had also a racist angle. All right, you know, I guess Pat Stay played a racist, or his name was racist in bodied, whatever. So he played that angle. Good, solid first round from Tay Roc. I thought it was beatable, but it would be tough to beat. It was a really good first round. Pat Stay's first round was fire. This nigga, yo, let me tell you something about Pat Stay. He has all of the skill sets that you want in a battle rapper. He can rebuttal, he can gun bar you, he can clown you, he can just give you some real bars, metaphors, name flips. He's got all of that shit in his arsenal, right? And he's legitimately 6'6". This guy could be a football player, legitimately 6'6", and he's huge. I seen him up in person. There's no intimidation with Tay Roc in the first against round, Pat Stay. There's just not. There was a heckler. There's a heckler when Pat Stay. First of all, Pat Stay starts. And he's wearing this yellow fake fur type of jacket. It was horrible looking. I think he wore the jacket to distract Tay Roc and hope that Tay Roc tried to freestyle, because I don't think Tay Roc is a really good freestyle and rebuttal, and maybe it was to sort of throw him off. But this jacket was horrible. It was like a leopard fur, just horrible looking jacket. It looked like he found it in a flea market, but it doesn't take away from his skill sets or what he was saying. Somebody heckled Pat Stay at the end, and he was saying something about how he would punch Tay Roc and do this to Tay Roc, and the dude was like, so do it then. And then you could see Pat Stay looked at the dude, thought real quick of a rebuttal, and it wasn't a crazy rebuttal. He said something about the eye. He had a Band-Aid on his eye like Nelly. But the way he was hyped, the way he sold it, the crowd was gassed, it worked. And then shortly after, the guy was removed from stage. They should have did it right then and there, but shortly after, he was removed. The first round, I could see people saying is debatable. I definitely could see that. Second round, Tay Roc goes back to, you a crackhead. You on crack. Da-da-da-da-da. Crack, crack, crack. And I don't know. It was like, it just didn't seem like a Tay Roc verse. And Tay Roc usually go crazy in the second. It just didn't seem like a Tay Roc, second rounder. Tay Roc second rounds usually be crazy. Anyway, it was like whatever. Pat Stay, while Tay Roc was doing his second, he kind of like reacted to one of the bars that Tay Roc had said. Like, Tay Roc had said something like, "You's a bitch, and your son is too. That's what I be telling your moms when I'm talking to her, blah, blah, blah." So he kind of called Pat Stay's son a bitch. He kind of called Pat Stay's son a bitch, but he kind of didn't. He was kind of saying, yo, you a bitch, and your son is too. That's what I be telling your moms and da-da-da-da-da, or your girl. And yeah, technically he did call his son a bitch, but Pat Stay been in 1,000 battles. I don't know if he has something about not talking about his kids in a battle. The only person I really know that be on that shit, the only person that I know that really be on that shit is Goods with his daughter. You could talk about anything else but his daughter, and I know that Tay Roc almost said something about Goods' daughter, but he did it in a nice way in the battle with Goods. But Pat Stay reacted to the bar and looked at Tay Roc when he said his son, and like it looked like if he was, oh, shit is about to get real. But I don't think it really affected Pat Stay. I think it was just something to try and get Tay Roc off his game. I think Pat Stay, along with Hitman and along with, well, let me just say it. I think Pat Stay took notes and pages from Hitman and from Goods. And now people are working on their defense while Tay Roc is rapping. So while Tay Roc is rapping, you see people doing things to mess with him, throw him off. Goods broke the code. Goods cracked the code. And now this dude is sitting on 3 L's. You know what I'm saying? Like literally sitting on 3 L's. Tay Roc, who has been one of the hottest, most consistent battle rappers in URL history, is sitting on a 3L losing streak. Lose to Goods, lose to fucking Hitman, and now you're losing to Tay Roc. Now you're losing to Pat Stay. I mean, the code is to talk through his rounds, try and like mess with him, you know, get him into that almost fight type of shit. He, you know, I think Tay Roc sometimes he does too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying he's not a real nigga. I'm not saying that. But sometimes when you overhype and you extra all the time and nothing pops, it kind of lends to the idea that you're not really that crazy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, off that. But the code has been cracked with Tay Roc. Work on your defense. Try and fuck with him in rounds. So anyway, this guy, you know, Pat Stay, he kind of acts like, oh shit, like you said something about my son? What? And then there's this like friction that's going on. So when Pat Stay starts, you know, rhyming or whatever it is, you know, there's that, yeah, well, you said something about my son, so now I'm going to say this. And then he kept saying that, he kept telling Tay Roc that you won't do nothing. You almost might would. You never would do something. He telling the crowd, yo, don't worry about him because he ain't going to do shit. He always acting like he ain't going to do shit. And then Tay Roc was like, yo, how you know? You pussy, da-da-da-da. So they had their little, you know, whatever. So once Pat Stay got him off his game and he knew got him off his game in that second, and he made that big commotion, now it's Tay Roc time to go in the third. But as Pat Stay was rhyming, I don't want to just use the Pat Stay thing with the son, but as Pat Stay was rhyming in the second, Tay Roc took out his phone, my niggas. Tay Roc took out his phone. I've never seen Tay Roc take out his phone. Tay Roc took out his phone and he was scrolling through his third round. He was trying to find out what he had to say, maybe the parts that he didn't know too well. And as you could see, as Pat Stay was doing his bars, Tay Roc was trying to remember his third. So now all this commotion's going on. He's looking through his phone. Now Tay Roc goes for the third. And Tay Roc's third, I never seen a third round like this from Tay Roc. Never. I'm telling you, even if he was getting toasted, even when Charlie Clips had him for fucking barbecue lunch, I mean, even when he was getting pushed by Calico, I mean, even when Goods was cooking his ass, you know what I'm saying? Well done, Goods. Even when fucking Hitman was hitting him left, right, I've never seen a third round like this. This nigga choked. He turned to Briz and was like, yo, like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. Because he knows he never choked before. And Briz was like, yo, freestyle, my nigga. The mic caught it. Briz was like, yo, freestyle. And you could see he was struggling through the rounds before the choke. And Pat was like tapping him on the back, like, yo, just keep going, just keep going. Pat could even tell that he was struggling. So now he had some hot bars in the third, which the crowd was reacting, and he was working off the gas, and he was like, yo, chill. He wasn't really saying, yo, chill. He didn't remember the next line, so he was trying to keep the crowd amped. So Pat was like, yo, keep it going. Pat was like, keep it going, because Pat wanted the classic. So far, they had a really tight battle with the pushing, with the bars, with all the bullshit. It was like party and bullshit, like Big said. But the third, Roc was struggling. So he starts to freestyle, and then he says something that could have been for anybody, and he's lost. His shit is just all over the place, and Pat Stay capitalizes on it in the third. But he says some random shit, they go crazy for it. Some random London bar, they go crazy for it. And he chokes again. And then he's like, yo, where was I? And they were trying to tell him where he was at. And then he went into something else. Nigga choking. Yo, he choked at least 3 times, my nigga. He choked legitimately 2 times. And you probably could throw a third one in there somewhere. Somewhere in the third, he might have choked again the third time. Real talk. But I got to give this battle to Pat Stay. 2-1 if you want to give Tay Roc the first. I'm leaning towards a light 3-0. I mean, they were screaming body bag. They were screaming, but the crowd was just overhyped. I'm not going to go with the crowd. I'm going to say 2-1, Pat Stay. But I'm not mad if people look at that battle and they said it was a 3-0. I won't be mad. But to be reasonable, to be fair, I'll probably throw Roc the first round and say 2-1. That second round was not fucking with Pat Stay. The third round, Pat Stay was just cooking his ass. I mean, he cooked Roc in the third. I mean, crazy. And Roc kept sticking on this rock and crack and smack the whole 3 rounds. It sounded like something hickory dickory dock. It was that simple. There was no complexity to his rounds, and his bars was simple. And then he didn't even give them the gun bars. I don't know. He switched his style around. He didn't even give them gun bars. It was crazy. Anyway,